Right, okay, so here we go for the lesson for Thursday. And as you can see, we've got a title here for the discussion, for the argument, and the title is Should Year 4 Children Come Back to School Soon? We know that the Year 6 children will be coming back in a few days' time. They may already be back actually by the time you watch this video. But Year 4 children, we don't know. So what we're going to do is, in this lesson, we're going to write a very brief introduction, and then we're going to write 2 reasons why they should come back. And then in tomorrow's lesson, we're going to write 2 reasons why they shouldn't come back. Now, as usual, when we do shared writing, you can use some of the ideas that I give you, but I would obviously like you to think about your own ideas. Also, any SPAG that I show you, you can use those ideas like subordinate clauses or embedded clauses or addition connectives and those sorts of things. Use those as well to make your writing look fairly good. Okay, so we'll start with the introduction. Now, if you remember from the last few lessons, the introduction is usually maybe 1 or 2 sentences at the most. So I'm going to say something like, I'm going to say lots of people have been talking about, because that's always a very good way to start an argument. So lots of people have been talking. Actually, I'm going to write lots of people have been talking about this. Okay, and this refers to the question which is at the top, so therefore people should know what we're talking about. Lots of people have been talking about this. And then I'm going to say something like there are lots of reasons why it's a good idea, but there are lots of reasons why it's not such a good idea, and so therefore we have to be careful before we make a decision. So there are lots of reasons for this point of view. A point of view means this is what somebody believes. It's not a fact. A point of view is not a fact. It's an opinion. So there are lots of reasons for this point of view. However, now this immediately gives the reader the clue that the next part of the sentence is going to be something opposite to what I've just said. So, however, there are also reasons against. There we go. So lots of people have been talking about this. There are lots of reasons for this point of view, full stop. However, comma, there are lots of reasons against. And then finally, see what you think. So it's as if you're actually talking to the person who's reading. And let's face it, when we write, that's really what we're doing. So see what you think. What do you think? Do you think we should? Do you think we shouldn't? That sort of thing. Okay, so I'm going to leave that on there for a few more seconds. Obviously, if you want to come back to this, then you just stop the video, spin it back, rewind it to this part of the video so that you can see the sorts of things that I've written. Once again, though, just to remind you, it's always nice for me to see ideas that you've written yourself. Okay. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to write down a few ideas to answer the question yes. So should Year 4 children come back to school soon? So we're going to say yes, they should, because, okay? And we're going to put a couple of ideas down here. And then in tomorrow's lesson, we will do no, they shouldn't, and then put a couple of reasons. So yes, they should. Well, one reason is I'm guessing that the children are probably getting very, very bored. So that would be a good reason. 2, I'm guessing also that the parents want to get back to work, or whatever it is that they usually do when the children come to school. 3, I'm guessing that some children might forget how to do their times tables because they're not practicing them every day. They might forget about full stops, they might forget about capital letters, they might forget about commas, they might forget about speech marks. So basically, education, maybe children are sort of forgetting about those very, very important things. And possibly, reason number 4 is that children might be really fed up of being at home all the time, and they might want to see their friends. Okay, so all of these are reasons why year 4 children should come back to school, because they're bored, because the parents want to get out to work and do the various things they normally do. The children might be forgetting certain parts of their education, and also children want to see their friends. So what I'll do is I'll use this one here, number 1 and number 4. Okay, so number 1. So the first reason is children should go back to school because they might be bored. So let's write that. The first reason for going back to school is that the children may be getting bored, and full stop. Okay, so let's just read that through. The first reason for going back to school is that the children may be getting bored. Okay, that's good. Now, if you remember from a couple of days ago, when we write a reason for doing something, we must always explain, we must always give more detail. So you can't just say they're getting bored and then that's it. So with this sentence, I'm saying the children are getting bored. I want to explain why children are getting bored. Now, why are children getting bored? Well, because they can't go out. Why can't they go out? Because of lockdown. Right. There's the start of my sentence, my next sentence, and it's going to be a subordinate clause. So, because of the lockdown, and I'm going to give it a capital letter because it's kind of a name and it's something that most people will understand and they will immediately know what you're talking about. So, because of the lockdown, comma, children cannot go out much. Okay, now I've put they can't go out much because you are allowed to go out a little bit, and there are rules that say how long you're allowed to go out for, who you go with, who you can meet with, and things like that. So that's why I haven't said they can't go out at all. So, because of the lockdown, children cannot go out much. This results in them getting bored at home. Okay, now I don't want you to do this, but I'm going to put a nice big 1 there just to remind you and to remind me that this is just the first reason why children should go back to school. Year 4 children should go back to school soon. Okay, so let's read the paragraph. The first reason for going back to school is that the children may be getting bored. Because of the lockdown, comma, children cannot go out much. This results in them getting bored at home. Okay, now I would say, I haven't got much time now, but I would say that I've written the word bored there twice. So if I can think of another word for bored, I could put frustrated maybe, or even angry, that sort of thing, such that I'm not using the same word twice. Right. Okay, now, as you can see, I've written a big 2 there, because now I want to write the second reason why children should be able to come back to school as soon as possible. And if you notice that, if you remember rather, my second reason was that children want to see their friends. So the first thing I'm going to do is to use an addition connective, okay? And the easiest addition connective has got the word addition in it. In addition to this. Now, when you're writing this on your paper, this actually will look very good, because you will just have your last paragraph, then you'll miss a line, and then you write in addition to this. And what it will mean is in addition to all the stuff that you've just been writing. So that will look really, really good. So in addition to this, comma, children want to see their friends. Okay, now I need to explain that. Remember, you always explain, you make a point and then you explain. Now, I'm not going to write full sentences now, because I think you should have the idea, but I'm just going to give you 1 or 2 hints just so that you're not totally on your own. So in addition to this, children want to see their friends. I suppose the first thing is I should explain why the situation now. So the situation now is that they can't see their friends because of lockdown. Now, you might use Skype or Zoom or WhatsApp or something like that, or FaceTime, so that you can see your friends on a screen, just like this one. But that's not brilliant. So I might write a sentence or possibly 2 about that. Also, some people might say, well, what's the big deal? Why should children see their friends? So I will put why see friends. So my next sentence is actually going to answer this question. Why should children see their friends? And the answer to that is, well, it's good for children to see their friends so that they can talk to them. They can talk to people of their own age. It's good for their mental health. Everybody's got to be able to see people that they get on with. They can exchange stories about what they've been doing in lockdown and what they've been doing in the weeks and months that they've been off school, all of those sorts of things. So those 2 sentences go to explain the first sentence of this paragraph. So in addition to this, children want to see their friends, full stop. And then we write 1 or maybe 2 sentences to explain why that is important. We need to answer the question, so what? Okay, that's the end of the lesson. What I'd like you to do now is to write the introduction and then the first paragraph. So if you remember, the introduction is just basically, what is this discussion about? And then the first paragraph is 2 reasons why Year 4 children should come back to school soon. I hope you get on well with that. Please don't forget to send me your stuff on Dojo or by email, attach it to an email, and I'll see you tomorrow for the second lesson out of for this piece of writing. Cheers then, bye bye.